Hello, today I'm going to demonstrate to you how easily you can set up a simplistic price comparison tool without any knowledge about web scraping or parsing with simply using AI Studio's one of the applications called AI Scraper. So what I have here, I have a boilerplate code prepared already, which contains a simple functions which actually reads the textual file where you provide the URLs you wish to scrape and compare the prices with. It also has functions to initiate the database, to put the data into it, and to schedule this whole thing to go over and over again. Now it's set up to repeat each minute, but that's just for demonstrational purposes. You might change that to whatever you like, to run it hourly, daily, weekly, or wherever. And the only part what's missing here is the actual scraping part. Yeah, you have to fill it up yourself. So I'm going to show you how you can do that with AI Studio. You could write the code yourself, which means that you must have knowledge about scraping, and it would be kind of challenging because you would, for such a use case, you would probably have multiple domains, meaning that you would have to tackle multiple different antibot systems, probably solve some captchas, and may face some other difficulties while scraping those. The next challenge is parsing actually, because once again, having multiple domains is the biggest issue, because you would have to set up a parser for each single domain, meaning that even if you are able to create parsers that you are happy with, it might be that in the future the page layouts change, something in the HTML file changes, and your parsers stops working, stops parsing the data correctly, meaning that you have to come back to your code, adjust that, maintain them, and yeah, it's just quite time expensive, I would say. The first option is to write the scraping and parsing code yourself, but as I explained, it's challenging. The next option would be to choose some kind of other data or scraping provider, but I believe not all of them work, and they wouldn't work on all of the domains you wish to scrape. That's for one. And for second, the parsing would still be missing, because some of them, of course, parses some of the biggest e-commerce websites, but at least in my case, and usually in the case of price comparison, you would have lots of different small e-commerce websites where none of the providers would have prepared parsers, dedicated parsers for them. And as you can see in my list of URLs, I have from the biggest one like Amazon, eBay, to the small, Swappy, Optimum, etc. So I doubt that they would have the parsers prepared for every domain. So yeah, this option, choosing some kind of data provider, would also still require you to do parsing yourself. And the first option I will show to you, it's using AI Studio, and in particular AI Scraper application. So at first I'm going to show you to how it works with user interface. So let's move to the application, and the only thing you have to provide here is URL, the link you wish to scrape. Let's copy one. Yep. Then you can just retrieve and get markdown output, but you also can get structured data, which will, as I mentioned, we will use AI to return that to you. So I will ask to give me a single product price and title. I'll generate schema. Also, AI generates schema for you. And yeah, we can check if if everything is correct. If not, we can make adjustments manually or regenerate the schema once again. But as I can see, everything is fine. The types of the fields are fine. One more thing I'm going to add is I'm going to indicate that I need full price, not a monthly one, because I know that in some of these websites, they're using like monthly prices. So I will help the model to better determine the actual price I'm wishing to parse. So I'm gonna say that, yeah, simply I want full price. And yeah, let's see if it works. So what's going now here is the scraping part is doing actually is being performed by Oxylabs, a web scraper API. And then the parsing part, we are using our own inbuilt AI parser. So yeah, as I mentioned, you don't have to build those yourself. And as you can see, we were able to retrieve a title and a price. We can double check if it's if the data is correct. Yeah, as you can see, the price is actually the one we got. So I assume everything is correct. So that's how it looks in user interface, and you can play with it. You can I mean, you can play with it until you are happy with the output, and then you can, on a larger scale, integrate it into your data gathering processes. And to do that, you can simply get the code. We have prepared SDKs, Python and JavaScript. So you can use whichever you like and whichever you prefer. I'm going to use Python, so the Python is default here. And for code examples, if you click on custom, you'll see that we are if you click on custom, you will see that we prepare you an example with the data you just entered in the user interface, meaning that API key will be filled and the payload will be formed with URL and the schema you just generated. So all you have to do is to copy that, get back to the code and replace this placeholder with the code you just got. I'll make just a few adjustments. I'll change the hard-coded URL to the one provided by the function and add a return statement where I will return result data object. And that's it. That's all you have to adjust. And now we are ready to run the code. Yeah, I'll just activate the environment, and that's it. We run main.py, and it should run the jobs should run URLs every each minute. We'll wait a little time and see if the data is being put into the database. I can see it from the logs here that yeah, the data is being scraped. And now let's load the database and check. Yep, as you can see, the data started to appear. And yeah, once you run that, it's going to run indefinitely until you cancel the process, and it will repeat scraping the same URLs you provided each minute. So that's how you have a price comparison tool. So just to sum up, I believe and I hope that I showed you how easily you can set up a price comparison tool and maybe some other use cases with just simply using AI Studio and one of this, its application called AI Scraper, getting the code from there without any knowledge about web scraping, without any knowledge and any hustle building parsers, just by simply putting up a few prompts, a few URLs, and yeah, just setting up a scraper and running it. So thank you for your time, and goodbye.